Right here is a Renault Megane 275 Trophy R. It's what I like to call the Porsche GT4 RS of Meganes. This one is the predecessor to the current Megane Trophy R, which hopefully I'll get my hands on very soon. But in the meantime, it's great to revisit this one and see what it's like on the road and more importantly on the track, specifically the Goodwood Motor Circuit track day, where I have a stab at keeping up with a Ferrari 458 Speciale. Things to know about this: it's a stripped out hardcore version of the already brilliant Megane 265. It has no rear seats and lots of stripped out materials, which brings the curb weight down to 1,280 kilograms. Let's start with what it's like on the road and then eventually we'll go on track. Apologies for the crap audio, by the way. Here I am driving a Megane 275 Trophy R, and I'm getting to drive it properly on some really good roads in the southern region. In fact, I'm around some of the houses and roads of Goodwood where they have the Festival of Speed. Later on we will be going on track with this Megane just to show you what this car is like to drive. But first, I want to know what this car is like on the road. So let's talk about the motor. 2-litre turbocharged engine, 275 horsepower. The car's really light. It weighs just under 1,300 kilos. That's because you've got no sound deadening, no rear seat, you've got a bit of a strut bar at the back, and you've got these lovely Recaro pole position seats, which are just lovely. They support you really nice. You find these seats in an SLS Mercedes Black Series and also a C63 Black Series, the W204 version. We've got a 6-speed manual gearbox, which is standard. They made 250 of these cars worldwide, and about 30 of them come to the UK, which are actually rarer than a Megane R26R, which is probably the first Renault Megane to sort of have the GT3 RS treatment. What's it like on the road? Well, it's raw, very, very raw. This car's got Öhlings dampers on it, and the setup is very, very harsh, but it's really lovely as well too. I mean, this car is a track car, so you do get that element of feeling special, but for long road trips and journeys, this could tire you out a little bit. But if I drop down a gear, you hear that? This car has got an Akrapovic exhaust, or is it Akrapovic? Oh, I can't remember the name, but Akrapovic makes some of the best exhaust systems in the world, and they made one specifically for the Megane, and it makes a lovely raughty 4-cylinder soundtrack. So what's this car like to drive on the public road? Can you enjoy it, or is it just a car that is only suitable for track days? Well, to be honest, it feels really nice. It feels engaging. It does feel like it moves around a little bit, especially now we're in basically sort of winter moving into springtime. We've got the Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tyres, which needs a bit of heat. Probably, if you're going to use this car for a lot of B-road driving, I would recommend taking these off and then just putting on the Pilot Sport 4Ss, because if you hit standing water, God help you. This does everything that the standard 265 Megane does, or the 250 Megane does, but it does it in a much more aggressive fashion. The power delivery is much more aggressive. Okay, there's lag and you need to steer the gear shift to get it above 4,000 RPM, and she moves, she absolutely goes. These seats are quite fixed. The seating position is actually fantastic, love it. You do hear everything though. You hear the stones chipping away at the bodywork. You just hear a lot of things going on. The brakes, these are Brembos. I'll be honest with you, the pads are a little bit low because we've done some track driving, which you'll see later on in the video. But as far as I'm concerned, in terms of pedal feel, it's actually quite nice. They do fade just a tad bit, but nothing that a bit of a upgraded aftermarket pads and fluid could change. Now, in case some of you viewers don't know, I used to own a VW Golf GTI Club Sport S, and that to me has got to be one of my favourite cars that I've owned. Why did I like it so much? Well, it was aggressive, but it was subtle, and it also had so much aggression from the way it drove. But more importantly, I'd done 13,000 miles in it, which, I'll be honest with you, is something that I didn't think I'd be using. When I bought the car, I thought I would only use it for track days. But what made that car very special was because it had the adaptive dampers. Now the adaptive dampers made the car supple. It rode very, very nicely, and on some B roads, especially in the UK where it's challenging and demanding and you've got crests and bumps, it made that car very, very usable to the point where I dailied it. But with this Megane though, there's nothing forgiving about it. I mean, listen to that, pops and bangs. I mean, the Club Sport S does all that sort of stuff, but it does it with, you know, a bit of a fake ECU sort of tune. With this, you get the odd pops and bangs every now and then, but it's super aggressive. You're always constantly fiddling with the wheel because of the setup of the car, it's following cambers, it's following dips. Apologies if the audio does drop out because there isn't much sound deadening, as I've already said. The gear shift, 6-speed manual gearbox, it's actually very, very nice shift. You know, it's slightly notchy if you go on track, which, you know, again, a small little short shift change will soon change that. What else do I love? It's got a proper handbrake. I'm not going to use it, but yeah, you can have some proper Essex style Morrison's car park handbrake turn lunacy going on. I love it, and I love the styling of Meganes. In this white with the stickers down the side, I mean, this one has the black wheels in it. I think it would look cool with the red wheels on the car. Kind of reminds me of the 997 GT3 RS Gen 2, you know, with the white and the red livery. Kind of reminds me like that, but you also get that visual feeling of being in something of a race car. And let's be honest, if you want a track car out of the box from the factory that you don't have to fiddle around and, you know, have to go and put a cage and then put up seats in and do all that stuff, you just want something that you buy, you use, you go and do track days, end of. This is the sort of car to have. What do I think of it so far on the road? It's brutal. It is very, very brutal, but I am enjoying it at the same time. The steering has feedback. The engine's very nice, the chassis is lovely as well too. The rear end of this car, oh my word, it's always up for a play. Always up for a play, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'll be honest with you, I'm a bit of a Renault Sport fanatic, so I am fanboying a little bit the fact that I am driving possibly one of the most hardcore Renaults around. I know we've got the new Megane, which is like a 70-odd thousand pound machine, which hopefully later on I will get to have a go in one of those. Yeah, she moves. Woo! This particular car is a proper stripped out bare special, so it hasn't got nav, it hasn't got radio, and it hasn't got air conditioning. So if you are on the market for a 275 Trophy R and you want one with the radio and the aircon, try and look for one, and you're going to be paying quite a bit of a premium. You're going to pay at least £3,000–5,000 for one. But on the used car market, considering this car was way over £40,000 when it was brand new, you can pick one of these cars up with not a lot of miles for 24 grand. Now, to some of you guys out there who are badge snobs, you might find this quite a lot of money, but to those who understand just how much car you're getting in terms of driver enjoyment, driver feel and performance, this car's a supercar killer.
Speaking of supercar killer, here's me going around the brilliant Goodwood Motor Circuit in the Megane 275 Trophy R. The first few laps you do have to warm up those Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2s. It's very easy to get heat into the front tyres, obviously because it's front wheel drive. However, the rear end really does want to step out, and as you can see in some of this footage, you can see me having to fight quite a bit of opposite lock. I promise it was not deliberate. Also, you will get to see me have a good go with a Ferrari 458 Speciale, so enjoy this bit.
We're going to show you how good this car is. Renault's coming back. Yeah.
having possibly a little too much fun in the Megane 275 Trophy R. I was having good fun though keeping up with the 458 Speciale until I decided to become an absolute yobbo and go sideways everywhere. Luckily I didn't get told off for that. So the Megane 275 Trophy R, what's it like around the track? Well, the front end is absolutely brilliant. You can pin this car pretty much throughout the circuit. Goodwood is a very, very fast track and you do need a lot of grip, and luckily once you get some heat into those Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tyres, it does come into play. Through Ford water, the car was actually catching up with the 458 Speciale just because of its lateral grip. Through St Mary's, where you have that left-hander, the Megane was keeping up to a degree until I decided to go absolutely sideways. Through the back straight, Lavant straight, obviously the 458 Speciale has more power, 600 horsepower, so of course it's going to be as fast, but through Woodcote, the Megane came back once again. So it just goes to show that you don't need to spend big money to go fast on track days. If anything, just learn to drive the car and get the most out of it to your ability. But is this car friendly to those who aren't very experienced in terms of track days? Well, if you need to be a little bit careful because the rear end does want to step out. The moment you lift off the throttle or trade in on the brakes, the rear end is so eager to turn in. It can be on your side, but it can also be against you. What do I think of this car? I reckon it's fantastic. In terms of just overall thrills and fun, I find it just a little bit more exciting than the GTI Club Sport S. The things that are against it are the fact that it is a little bit too hardcore for the road, and it's not as quick or as precise as the Golf R. But overall though, which one would I take out of the two? I'd probably take the Megane because it's mad and French. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe as always. Please hit the bell notification icon to check out more content coming weekly, trying to do 3 a week. And also follow me on Instagram at sid.north. If you are an owner out there and you want to see me have a go in one of your cars, as long as it's exciting and fast, please get in contact via YouTube or via Instagram or via email as well too. Anyway, until next time folks, see you later.